Welcome to the short lecture on structural design of ships. The subject code for this subject is NAOE 304. The topic today we will be discussing is welding parameters. Generally, in shipbuilding, welding is a most time-consuming and most important activity which is done throughout the process of shipbuilding. The process of shipbuilding involves welding as a primary objective for any shipyard wherever the ships are being constructed. Some parameters which are responsible for welding today we will be discussing in time. Let us start with the source of current. Let us say power supply. If you already know that there are three types of power supplies which we provide for welding, and we are talking only about today electric welding. The first source of current is a constant current source. As you can see, there is a DC mode. Here I have plotted a diagram of current versus time. So when the current is constant at a particular rate of input for a particular ampere, the transfer rate of material will be done at constant current. The second mode of transfer of or second mode of power supply is when we are talking about alternating current. So alternating current means where there is a upper range and lower range at which the current will be varying. The lower range can be of 300 ampere to maximum 500 ampere, and most of the AC current, the transformer which is available, the setting can be done through a regulator where we can increase the range of this input, the output current to the for the responsible metal transfer, and this range can be varied according to the size of the electrode. There are various types of electrodes, and those parameters we will discuss in the later part of our lecture. Generally, we are having a range of frequency for this metal transfer, which is 50 Hz when you are talking about Indian subcontinent, and European countries they have 60 Hz as a standard. The another type of transfer is also being described in the diagram here, which is called as pulse mode power supply transfer. Pulse mode power supply is providing us it is just like a digital output where we have a minimum value and a maximum value of supply. The minimum amplitude is shown in the diagram as 200 amperes. This and the maximum ampere is 500 amperes. The pulse current which is coming, where the transfer rate will happen, it is taking place for 0.01 seconds for a very short interval, and then for a very small period of time, say let us suppose 0.02 seconds, it is coming at the lower range of the ampere, the current ampere. Right? This is called as peak level, where the transfer of material, molten material, will be taking place, and this is the minimum level at which the metal will be in transition. It will not be transferred to the plate where we are building. And this particular current needs to be constant throughout because this is the minimum background current rate pulse. Okay. So let us talk more about it. For welding, a discrete rate of heat transfer of material is required. Right. So after this, we will discuss about metal transfer. What are the types of transfers? Yeah. So now we are going to discuss about metal transfer and how it has influence on the process of welding. Generally, there are two types of metal transfer when we are talking about arc welding or electric welding. The first type we are discussing is spray transfer, and then we will be discussing about globular transfer. The spray transfer actually is a method where the pulse method, when we were discussing pulse, the pulse which is generated, it is generated for a very short period of time, and the peak current which is persisting, it will be persisted for a very maybe milliseconds and of that order. Because of which there will be a spray transfer which can be seen in this diagram. And in the welding pool, you will find that there are some complications which will be generated. Higher the penetration may take higher the penetration, the better is the quality of the weld which is being generated. The metal is generally forced to transfer with a very small, fine spray which is caused. If you can see, if you note down the spray which is occurred in a perfume bottle when you press the button down, the same type of spray will be more effective in transfer of material which is coming from this electrode. The metal is forced and causes a turbulence inside the weld pool. So, because of the turbulence, there may be a mixing, a good mixing of metal which will be found here. If you will see here, there will be a good mixing of metal which will be found here. Okay. There are some advantages and there are some disadvantages. The advantages is that whenever we are doing vertical welding, this type of spray transfer will help us doing the weld in a more proper fashion, and it will not create any mistakes in the process of welding because the metal is forcibly transferred into the base plate. The turbulence in mixing will take place very usually. It is a very usual thing, and it is just how which I have discussed. It is very much suitable for vertical as well as overhead welding. Another transfer type is when we are talking, it is called as globular transfer. In spray transfer, you might have observed there are few hundreds of drops per second which are transferred to the base plate. But in case of a globular transfer, we find that there will be a minimum 2 to 3 drops and maximum up to 10 drops per second which are transferred to the material. Generally, for horizontal welding, downhand welding, it is much more preferred, and very importantly, whenever we are talking about this type of globular transfer, we will use it for more thicker plate. The metal transfer has metal beads, and therefore a porosity may exist. Why? Because the larger is the droplet size, when it falls into this particular weld pool, there is a chance that it will come out of that weld pool and causes spatter. For your recall, spatter is nothing but, you will find if there are two plates, you will find dots. So this droplet is nothing but it has come out of weld pool, and it is a defect in welding. It generally increases the heat affected zone and causes the change in properties of the metal plate which we are trying to weld. The comparison of these two is not possible for one type of welding. We can say on the basis of the size of the plate and the method by which we are doing the welding, it will be utilized in different ways. Let us say that if the spatter is found more because of the larger drops, the control of this droplet can be influenced by other factors like current and voltage. So we will discuss it in the following lecture. Yeah. Now we will see some key variables in welding, and some key variables I have written here. There are one or two extra also, but we will be discussing only on that. First, let us talk about current. Current basically it affects the heat generation rate. The more is the current input, the higher will be the deposition rate of the molten material. The heat will be affecting the fusion zone, and therefore it will increase the penetration of the metal. So let us assume that there is a plate which is having 10 mm thickness, and we are required to weld it with another plate of the same thickness. And let us suppose that there is a weld pool. There are three cases I have discussed here. For a lower current value, let us say I1, there is a lower current value where I am applying it for case number 1. the width of the bead and the depth of this particular weld is represented in the diagram. If you observe carefully, the case 2 where I2 is the supply of current which is greater than I1 is not causing much change in the bead width, but the depth of the penetration has increased. In the third case, where I am describing about I3, where the value of I3, the current value of I3 is much more higher, maybe 500 amperes for I3, 300 amperes for I2, and maybe 200 amperes for I1. When we are talking about I3, relatively from I1, the depth of penetration has increased almost near to the thickness of the plate, which is described by D3 as the depth, and bead width remains the constant. Now let us discuss about voltage. When we were discussing about current, we also observed that how the depth of penetration increases when the current increases. Let us talk about how voltage influences the welding. Supply voltage is directly proportional to the length of the arc, and voltage drop at the arc is shown in this diagram. Okay. Let us say that there is a high voltage supply for this type of welding, for welding the same plate, same thickness plate, and same electrode. Don't consider this diagram to be different than this. If you can consider both are of same thickness, T. This is also T thickness of electrode. Both are same. Then, for a higher voltage, the flow of heat along the thickness is generally reduced. So, current is responsible for increasing the thickness when increasing current takes place. But when voltage is increased, the thickness is not much affected. But when you observe these two, let us compare it for this and this. The voltage comparatively in this diagram, it is this. And for a low voltage, the width of this bead width it has reduced. As you can see in the diagram, the width with the higher arc voltage, weld bead becomes large. So when we are increasing voltage, there are two things which are happening. The arc length increases. With that, bead width is also increased. Now we will talk about speed, how speed of welding is affecting the whole process of welding. Typically, the speed of welding is also affecting the process of, it is also a key variable in welding process. If you see this diagram, the diagram represents that whenever we were having a low speed of welding, the direct effect will be the output or the productivity of welding process during ship welding will reduce, and it is very natural. The part where we are training the new labor or new welders, we are required to have a minimum set of limit where a minimum tonnage of weld material or minimum material can be obtained after doing welding. When an experienced person is doing welding, he can come out with a higher productivity. But there are 2-3 factors other than this which are involved directly. So if we are welding for a same voltage and same current parameter, the bead which is generated, it will be having larger depth as well as depth of penetration will be more. But when we are increasing the speed of welding, the depth of penetration is reducing here because we are doing it for a faster rate. So the key parameters holds speed of welding as a one of the important factor. Next, we will talk about the diameter of electrode. Now, when we are talking about electrode diameter for a higher deposition rate or higher productivity, and let us suppose we measure basically productivity in kilograms of electrode transfer per hourly basis. So in a day, if we consider that 8 hours of operation is taking place, then in one shift, so we can compare that if 2 electrodes of different diameters where I am using this electrode maybe of 5 mm diameter and this of 3 mm diameter. For a same feeding rate, as I mentioned here, for the same feeding rate, I require higher current here to get the same type of deposit. But here I need lower current because otherwise what will happen? To get the same thickness of plate, the depth of penetration increases, so it may cause heat affected area in that particular weld tube. And this may cause a lot of problem in the weld. After welding, it may create some type of distortion where after contraction, if we increase the rate of current for a thinner electrode, then what will happen? The molten material which is there, it will sustain for a long period of time and it will give more contraction to the joint. And this causes distortion. Generally, it is a type of a particular type of defect which can be found. And distortion is required in shifting it to a very minimum scale. Nothing but it will, if there are two plates when we are joining them, it can be sorted with either managing with current values or if we do a proper sequencing of welding, then also it can be minimized. The other factors which I want to discuss today is length of stick out that we will be discussing. Okay, now we will be discussing about the factor which is length of stick out. So generally it is for submerged arc welding, where the supply of electrode will be coming out from this and feed will be given to the electrode with the automated mechanism. Sometimes semi-automated mechanism is also used. For shipbuilding, usually we will use semi-automatic. The length of stick out is basically nothing but this is the electrode. And this electrode, when it is coming out of that nozzle, this particular length of electrode will be called as length of stick out. Now I will tell you the concept of resistance and how the heat is influenced when the resistance is added up. When you see here, the arc which is formed, it is this arc which is formed when the welding is happening. This is connected to a negative polarity and this is connected to positive polarity. When we are talking about this part, this is a nozzle which is the feeder nozzle. And this is the base plate which is where the welding operation is happening. If you see that the resistance is nothing but resistance, total resistance will be nothing but resistance of the arc and resistance of the length of that electrode which is coming out will also be added to the basic primary resistance of it. And from our previous discussions, we already know that resistance is directly proportional to the square of current. If you this basically it is nothing but the energy which is being utilized when the resistance is increasing. The current will also be increasing exponentially. So here the relation is this R L is is proportional to the current, square of the current. So this is the total current. This is the total increase in current because there is a small amount of electrode which is coming out. There is an arc which is developed. So because of this arc, there will be increase in resistance. There will be if we are increasing the strength of the electrode, this resistance will also be added. So basically, the amount of heat generated, it is dependent on current as well as the resistance which is being given through these variables. So when you talk about electrode, if you minimize the length of stick out, this length of stick out, if you minimize, this will be the trend. So if length of stick out resistance will be more and the depth of fusion will be increased because of this particular thing. When the resistance is less, because of the higher penetration, the depth of penetration increases and the depth of fusion increases. Right? In the first case where resistance RL, resistance increases due to length of stick out, the width of this bead is also more. Right? So there is one more relation which is commonly understood, where length of stick out is approximately equal to 7 times the diameter of electrode. This can be a basic formulation for doing this submerged arc welding. Now we will talk about electrode feed and speed. We will talk about that. Higher the feed, the lesser will be the penetration, because the amount of molten material which will be coming out of the weld pool will be more. So if you minimize the feed rate, you have to monitor the speed of welding. The faster you are going in doing your welding, you have to change the feed rate accordingly. And if you are working at a lower speed of welding, then you have to reduce the feed transfer rate. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? If you increase the feed transfer rate for a low speed, more and more spatter will take place, because the weld pool will not be properly defined, and there may be blowholes which can come inside, which you can say oxides formation will be there, which can cause abrupt changes in the weld structure, which can later be observed through radiography and sonography and other detective tests which are there, NDTs which are available in the yards. Now, the last part is polarity. So, there is a direct polarity method and there is a reverse polarity method. Direct polarity is nothing but when the electrode is kept at a positive source of supply, and the plate is connected to the negative source of supply. If we change it to reverse, then it is called as reverse polarity. Okay, I will talk about it more. Let us discuss it. When we are talking about the effect of polarity, when we see that if the electrode is at negative terminal and base plate is at positive terminal, the more heat in the plate will be available to the source, and it is generally used for a thicker plate. When the plate thickness is higher, we will use this type of polarity. On the other hand, when you say that this is a positive polarity connected to a positive polarity and the plate is connected to a negative polarity, there will be more heat available in the electrode. So this is used generally for thinner plates. So whenever we are talking about a positive polarity to electrode and negative polarity to plate, chances of more heat available in electrode is higher, so it is used for thin plates. And for thick plates, we will see that plate which is required to be welded is having positive polarity and electrode will have negative polarity. Now, let us discuss about another topic, which is electrode orientation. Polarity we have discussed. Electrode orientation, how it will affect. Let us see through a diagram. And there are three cases which I want to discuss here. The first case is dragging. Dragging is the case when you are taking the electrode and you are keeping it here. And suppose you have to weld the two plates which are kept here. Then what will happen? If you are dragging it, the depth of penetration will be higher in this case, and the bead width which is there, it will not be disturbed when you are dragging. Another case is when you keep it vertical. When you keep it vertical, the depth of penetration is generally reduced, but the bead width remains the same. Another case, the last case is pushing. Pushing is the case where This is called as pushing. This is called as vertical orientation, and this is dragging. So when we were dragging it, the depth of penetration we have got is achieved is more. When we are pushing it, the depth of penetration is reduced, but the width, bead width, has increased to a larger extent if you consider this diagram and this diagram. The other case is the intermediate. The depth of penetration will be average as well as the bead width will be average. The next factor is, for your information, this is the direction of bending. If you are moving in this direction, if you are giving this direction, or if I turn here and drag it like this, or vertically doing the bend. There are advanced bending techniques which are available, which will be discussed later after this session.